Hi guys, welcome back to LPB Racing for the WTCR series on GT Sport. This is round 5 from Bathurst, Australia. Just going to run you through the tyres that people are on. So we've got Neil Farmack on pole position on the medium tyre. Obviously didn't qualify on the mediums. They'll all qualify on the super softs. So you've got Neil Farmack on the mediums, Bidzster third on the grid on mediums. Then we've got Task 1 on mediums as well. And also Rodders and Stacker all choosing to do the medium tyre in this first race. It's usually quite popular to get it out of the way, but some people running it, some people not. So quite a 50-50 in this one as we get ready for the start. Revs will rise. You hear the revs rising, people holding the brakes, getting ready to watch the lights. Revs rise. Away we go. And the usual typical good start from Task 1 in the Subaru, and Firepower gets a good one as well, but can't get anywhere. As we go into the first corner, we've got Nick Hash, bang! Gets hit by Task right up the side. That wasn't the hip and shoulder, that was the full karate kick and everything. So out of the first corner, we've got Nick Hash pulling away from Task 1 now. He's gone backwards behind Rodders. Then we've got Neil Farmack and Callum side by side. The TT, a very good car around here, so watch out for the TTs. Bidzster back in 8th place. Remember, Bidzster, Callum and Neil have got 1st, 2nd and 3rd place weights on. So Bidzster heaviest, then Callum, then Neil. So they're the top 3 with the weight on. So we've also got Seek and Task 1 with a little bit of weight on, but that shouldn't trouble them too much. As we go up the hill, TY, Nick Hash, Rodders, Task 1, Callum, in that order. So Neil and then Callum. Then we've got Bidzster coming up behind Firepower now. So Firepower in a really good position here in the Subaru. So good on him. Good to see him battling amongst the midfield pack as they come up and over the mountain section. And down over the other side. Whoa, close to the wall on the exit. And we've got Neil and Task 1 side by side ahead. A little bit of a touch, I think, but Neil gets through. Task 1 getting shouldered back. Everyone's constituting up for the dipper. This is going to end in tears. Coming down here, Neil, Callum, Task 1, Firepower, Bidzster, all in one. As Firepower's made a mistake, he's gone wide. Bidzster can't go anywhere. He's trying to go to the inside, but can't. Just hits the wall. Seat 1 now trying to take advantage, but no way through either. As Rodders then runs wide into towards the Falcon wall in at the elbow. That's what the corner's called, the elbow. Weird name, Forest Elbow. But down the Conrod straight. This is where the Lexus will come into its own, but it's actually getting passed by the Mazda because it's still losing speed on the straight because of that wall it hit. So Rodders, Task 1, Callum, all together. As we come down towards the bottom of the hill, Task 1's very, very late on the brakes and dives up the inside of Rodders. Absolute dive there from Task 1, but luckily Rodders looked in his mirror and went for it. Very risky move by Task, but well, credit to him, he got it done, so you've got to go for the moves if you want to do them. As Rodders now on the inside defending. Bidzster goes around the outside and C1 gives him a little tap. Say, there you go sunshine, a little help, but I don't think it did. And that's separated them up now. So C1's gone further back. I think he must have had a spin on the first lap. So we'll get some replays into that first lap action. Okay, here's a replay of the start from on board with Rodders then. So off we go. We get a decent start. There's Bidzster in the front wheel drive, quite slow. Watch Task 1 and Nick then. So Task 1 goes to the inside, and then Nick goes into the corner very early, and then Task 1, bang, gets hit by Nick, and then loses a bit of speed, and then Rodders takes advantage. Okay, now here's a replay on board with Rodders on the last half of the first lap as we look back at Task 1. So as we're braking into the corner, we brake, and Task 1's really late on the brakes, and thinks, right, inside we go, and then straight through in front of Rodders. What a move. And what we're going to do now is stay on board with Rodders. So after that fantastic move by Task 1, Rodders thinking, right, let's fight back, straight up the inside, but then nope, chickens out, just decides to brake really early, but then Bidzster takes advantage, and then Seat 1 left with nowhere to go because Rodders almost stopped mid-corner, and then gives him a little boost and gets him back going again. So as we come back from all that, Nick Hash is second to TY, who is in the lead. TY in the lead from Nick Hash. And it's the battle for 3rd place. Callum versus Neil Farmack, side by side. Up and over the rise. Down towards the corner that takes us onto the mountain, onto turn 2. Up through turn 2, and Neil Farmack just gets ahead from Callum, but he's pushing him all the way. Task 1 closed up, and so is Bidzster as well. Rodders, Seat 1, Stacker and Firepower having their own little battle back here as well. We'll just see how Callum and Neil get through here as Neil runs a bit wide and then makes himself vulnerable to attack. Callum goes up the inside. Seat 1's up the inside of Rodders meanwhile and takes 7th place. Firepower looking to take opportunity. Brilliant racing here. Battles absolutely everywhere as we go up the mountain section with these lot. Just a bit more spread now. As we look back to Neil and Callum, who are still right up each other's trumpets. Up over the mountain and then down the other side now. Down through the dipper, under the famous Audi bridge. Down the famous Bathurst dipper. One wrong move, one wrong racing line, one little inch of a mistake could have catastrophic consequences through that corner, or through that section of corners. So it's still Neil, Callum, Task 1, Bidzster's up there as well. He's right behind right behind Task 1 now. So clearly the weight not being as much of a factor on the Scirocco as we thought. And remember, Bidzster and Task 1 are on the mediums, and so is Neil as well. Medium tyres being used by quite a few people here. As we have a little look back, Rodders, Firepower, and then Stacker and Seat 1 further back. So Seat 1's gone back a couple of positions. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to Seat 1 on the lap 2. So goes into here, then bang, onto the grass, spins right round. Everyone else very lucky to avoid him, and rejoins in 10th positions. As we look at Task 1 and Bidzster now, coming down towards here. Callum has a little look at Neil here. Don't think he's going to go through. As we go on to the brakes, and Bidzster's going to break it very, very late and up the inside. Whoa! What a move! Stitch that, Task. Have that up your trumpet and smoke it. That was a move and a half. No, that's not like Bidzster to do that. I mean, I know he usually goes for some gaps, but wow, what a move. As Callum and Neil battling each other out now, and Neil trying to turn that TT into a Quattro. Kicking up the dust in towards the first corner then. Nick Callum up onto the inside, gets the wheels up on the inside, and off he goes just ahead as Bidzster flashing his lights at Neil saying, "You're next, sunshine, you're next on the hit list." So, but we'll just get some replays of those moves there. Okay, now here's a replay of how Bidzster made his move on Task. So almost a carbon copy of what Task did to Rodders. As we go into here, Bidzster brakes a lot later than Task and thinks, right, up the inside I go, up over the curb, and straight past he goes. As we look back at Nick Hash then, so forwards at Nick Hash, should I say. Nick Hash in second place, TY pulling away with it here, fastest lap of the race, 2:11.9, so really pulling away here is TY, as everyone else pours into turn 2. Neil, Callum, Bidzster and Task 1 all battling. Neil on the inside up towards the top of the mountain, or the climb up the mountain, should I say, through the little hairpin and then up over the tops. Bidzster right behind Callum, pushing him along the way, and then further back we've got Rodders, Firepower, they're having a good little scrap, and Stacker and Seat 1 as well, so all having a good little scraps here. There's now Bidzster right behind Callum, so clearly that full weight on that Scirocco does not affect it very much at all, so he's doing well here, and so is Callum as well. Callum's doing well with the weight on, because he's got second place weight, so all doing very well. Neil on third, Task on fourth place weight, so all the cars with weight on together as Callum gets pushed wide by Neil Farmackers side by side through the dipper. These two are crazy. As we go down towards the Forest elbow, there's the little Forest on the inside, and there's the elbow through the corner and then down the other side. Brilliant racing here by all. Let's have a quick look back. Rodders is still ahead of Firepower onto the straight. The Subaru will struggle to keep with the Lexus. And then meanwhile Seat 1 is ahead of Stacker again. So Seat 1 back ahead of Stacker. Stacker not letting him go. His life depends on it. As meanwhile Bidzster and Callum side by side up and over the top of the Conrod straight. Down towards the chicane at the bottom. Brakes, brakes, brakes everyone. Whoa. Up and over the curbs for the front wheel drive cars. Really aggressive on them curbs. Neil being closed in by Bidzster and also Callum as well. 3 cars into 1. Down the hill, Neil defends, Bidzster to the outside. Bidzster not going to get away around there. Neil defends the inside. Will Bidzster be able to get through? No, he won't. Callum has a look at Bidzster here. It's all happening. Brilliant. Bathurst provides some really good entertainment, and it's not just the V8 supercars that can do that, so can these. As Task 1 tries to go right round the outside of Callum and do what Subarus do best and kick up the dust, and he's still side by side, but you've got to think that the Mazda will have more top end speed. As we quickly look back, we've got Firepower ahead of Rodders now, so that's switched. Firepower gets ahead of Rodders. Let's get a replay on how that switched. Okay, here's a replay on lap 3 of how Firepower got past Rodders. So we're going down the end of the Conrod straight into the braking zone, and I think Rodders brakes a bit late, goes a bit wide there he goes wide, and then Firepower, whoa, just about goes straight through, almost makes contact with the front end, but just about gets away with it. As we look at back at the guys battling for third place as Task 1 gets Callum up the inside. Callum tries to go around the outside, but Task 1 gets it. As we look back, Stacker has actually passed Seat 1. Good move there by Stacker, taking advantage of the lack of straight line speed in the BMW. As Bidzster goes and tries to get Neil Farmack now, two front wheel drives battling each other here. You'd think the Audi would be the faster car, but Bidzster's on it here. As Task 1 trying to catch up, and so's Callum. As I think Neil Farmack into wall there. And Bidzster closes again right up, but can't get through, because there is no way through up this top section unless you are absolutely as mad as a fish. But we go over the top section. Now comes the descent down the dipper to go down the mountain. Here we go. All the way downhill, one little missing braking point. There's the helicopter. As we go down the hill, again all together as one. There's Firepower in 7th, he's still there. Rodders back in 8th, he's backed off pass. He's gone backwards here. So Rodders obviously making a mistake or two. Back into the hands of Stacker and Seat 1. Meanwhile, these lot are on the straight. Neil, Bidzster, Task, and then Callum must have made a mistake there. Or he's got hit by something, so we've got a replay on how Callum went backwards. Okay, here's a replay of how Callum lost touch with the group there, so he's right behind Task into the dipper. Then we go down the dipper, and then watch on the exit of this corner here. Runs a bit wide, hits the wall there, and then bounces off the other one, and that's how he lost time. As we look back in front, Bidzster getting rid of a bit of a penalty there, obviously. So Bidzster's accumulated some kind of penalty here, and he's just trying to get rid of a little bit of it while he's on the straight. So sensible stuff. While he's on the straight in the draft, might as well try and get rid of a bit of it. As Neil Farmack goes on the grass, I do have to admit the penalties on this game are ridiculous, because the reason why Bidzster actually got that penalty was just literally going slightly over a white line on the dipper, which everyone else were doing. It just decided to punish him. So that's what happened to Bidzster, and he gave him a 2-second penalty to try and get rid of. But luckily he managed to get rid of it during the race. So as we go into turn 1, then Task 1 right behind Bidzster, because he's still trying to get rid of that penalty bit by bit. Just further back, got Firepower there in 7th, Rodders 8th, Seat 1 9th, Stacker 10th. So a little bit more spread out now, but again, doesn't mean that he'll not close up. As Task 1 tries to close up to the back of Bidzster now in the draft. And the Subaru not very good at top end speed here. Into turn 2, up the hill to start the climb up the mountain. This is where the Subaru's 4-wheel drive should come into hand up this section, because the front wheel drives will struggle a bit more for traction. As we go out this corner, they'll square it off, get the power on, and then look how close Task 1 is now. Task 1 closes up as Bidzster closes right up to the back of Neil, but again, no way through. Both these cars on medium tyres, both these cars front wheel drive, and both cars carrying weight, but Bidzster's carrying another 80 kilos more than Neil is. Bidzster on maximum ballast, 200 kilos. Neil Farmack on 120 kilos from the last race, so obviously not as much at all. Down through the dipper. Both cars not making many mistakes as Bidzster goes through there. Again, the same line that he always took, except he got a penalty the other lap. As Neil defends the inside now, clearly feeling he's got to defend as he goes into the wall. Whoa, little brush of the wall, but no biggie there. As Callum goes through in 6th place, Firepower 7th. I dare say Firepower is actually catching this group in front, because Callum's last lap was an 18, Task 1 was a 15, and Firepower was a 14. So Firepower is on the move here. As we've got Rodders falling back into the hands of Seat 1 and Stacker now, so that could be a little battle that rages on later on. As Bidzster again trying to get rid of a bit more of that penalty in towards the end of the chicane at the end of the straight. So Bidzster still trying to fight that penalty off as Task 1 closes up. And you'll notice here that Firepower has actually got Task 1's number and livery on. So he altered his livery back from the special event one, but he's put Task livery on instead of his own. So never mind, could be worse. At least you can still tell it's a hoppy Subaru. As we go into turn 1, Neil through, Bidzster through, Task 1 through as well, and Callum's still all running as one. Callum set his personal best. I think they all have that lap. Bidzster hasn't, but everyone else has set their personal best of the race that lap. As we look back at Seat 1, has passed Rodders up the inside, so that was a change of place. We'll get a quick replay. Here's how Seat 1 got that position off Rodders, so it goes up the inside into turn 1, and then pretty straightforward, just a nice move up the inside, and clean as a whistle and straight through. So as we come back from that then, all three of these guys together, all as one, practically as one, as Stacker moves out to pass Rodders and pins him behind the BMW. Good strategic driving there as we go into turn 2. Stacker going to go for 2 birds in 1 stone. No, he's not. Stacker goes past one, but not the other. Seat 1 pulls away a bit. Stacker gets 9th place. Will Rodders fight back? The answer is no. He can't fight back yet. She's gone a bit further back than he thought. So Seat 1 powers up the hill. So does Stacker and Rodders. So good little battle there. As we look back at Bidzster and Neil, they're still very close together here. Down towards down off the mountain now. Down towards the dipper. Descent begins as we go down the dipper. Bidzster hops up on 2 wheels there, so risky lines, but it's probably going to work as we get down to the bottom. Both through. There's Tass1 and Callum. They're close to each other again now, so battles beginning to form here. In towards the Forest Elbow and then down the Conrod Straight. Descent helps at first, and then when you get to the climb up, that's where the horsepower comes in. So Bidzster in the draft of Neil here. Could we see a position swap? Same with Task and Callum. But we'll watch Bidzster and Neil first because they're going to get to the corner first. Bidzster's getting rid of more of that penalty, so there'll be no position switch this lap. As Tass1 and Callum approach the corner now, still no switch between them. Bidzster's gone off! Bidzster's gone off onto the grass! No, Bidzster's gone off, and that's going to compromise his speed. Tass1 goes through. Will Callum manage to get through as well, or Bidzster's going to have to fight this? But no, Bidzster goes through and Callum goes straight to the inside of Tass1. Ooh, sneaky stuff there. But Bidzster trying to fight back now, so he's lost 2 places in that one mistake. So unlucky there for Bidzster, just took his eye off the ball a bit, probably just trying to get rid of that penalty and got caught out as he goes up the inside of Callum and tries to go up the inside of Task. He wants them positions back, he's annoyed with himself. As we go up the hill now, Bidzster now pinned behind the Subaru and Callum takes advantage. But he can't, because Bidzster's actually got a bit of a nice toe off the Subaru and now pulls back ahead and Callum behind him. So will Bidzster go up the inside of Tass1 here into the next corner, up the inside. Oh, he's on the curb, he's rubbing door handles, probably reaching out the window, hitting each other with a stick as we go up the hill. Up the mountain, Bidzster just gets ahead, Tass1 fighting up the inside, Bidzster leaves him room, but I think he's done it. Yes, he has, he's gone all the way around the outside. Well done there, good move by Bidzster, and Callum says thank you very much. I will take advantage of that open door and I'll go straight through. So Callum goes back up to 5th, Tass1 6th, but look who it is. It's Firepower. He's catching up to this group. A little bit of lap. So obviously they're all battling each other and slowing each other up. So Firepower should be on these boys at the end of this lap maybe, as Callum goes onto the grass. Never even Mazda did a lawnmower as we go down the hill. Down the mountain. And out the other side. Bidzster still ahead from Callum as we look at Neil Farmack. He's got a bit of breathing space on his own now. Bidzster 4th, Callum 5th, Tass1 6th, and Firepower lurching in the background, sneaking up on these guys in 7th. As we've got Seat 1 in 8th, he's pulled away a bit. As Rodders has gone right backwards here. Rodders goes really backwards, so he's had a massive spin this last lap, so we'll get a replay. Okay, here's the replay of how Rodders went backwards, but also the replay of how Stacker went backwards as well. So it's 2 in 1, into the end of the Conrod Straight. Both of them miss the braking point. Stacker goes off and then Rodders says I'll join you. There we go, grass cut together. Stacker rejoins a bit of a straight line. Rodders goes back to the track a bit earlier and then almost gets around him, but then decides to get rid of a penalty it gives him and stays behind Stacker. So as we come back from that then, T White, there he is, not seen him much in this race. In the lead, he's already at the start finish line. Nick Hash hasn't even got to the last corner yet, and Neil Farmack is just only just at the end of the straight. So what a gap as Bidzster and Callum now back fighting each other as Bidzster defends from Callum. So Callum clearly closing up here as he looks to go to the outside. Bidzster having to defend the inside. This is one corner where you can really get compromised. Even if you do defend, you can try and get a good run or a good cut back, but Callum just goes right around the outside of Bidzster. What the hell was happening there? Callum goes right round the outside. I thought Callum was going to do a cutback, but no, he just says have that sunshine, straight round the outside. Slap wet fish in the face. So we'll get a replay on how that happened. It was brilliant. Okay, here's a replay of how Callum went right round the outside of Bidzster on board with Tass. So going into the last corner, Callum just brakes that much later, just can get the traction with the 4-wheel drive, just ultimate confidence in the car, and straight round the outside of Bidzster. Brilliant move. So as we come back from that brilliant overtake, Bidzster's now fighting back on Callum here, and Task 1 trying to take advantage of a bit of NASCAR draft off the back of that Scirocco as you go down to the next corner. Bidzster on the outside, Callum on the inside. Bidzster gives him lots of space, gives him an acre, and then Task 1 might be able to take advantage here, and Firepower is right on this group now. Brilliant stuff here, up the hill, in towards the hairpin. Bidzster on the inside, Task 1 trying to go around the outside, no way through. Firepower right on this group now. Firepower hopefully will try and get involved in this, but unfortunately for him, the first car in this group is his teammate, so he's got to be careful not to compromise his race. But also at the same, he doesn't want to compromise his own race because he wants to try and get stuck in there. As we go through the mountain section, close to the wall, up and over the top. Callum goes on the grass, starts low mowing again, thinks he's rallycross, and then as they come down the hill, Callum will have a little bit of dirt on his tyres, might be a bit slower, but I think he's okay because the four-wheel drive helps him as Bidzster makes a little mistake there. Bidzster makes a little mistake, so that'll help Task 1 close up. Up to the forest elbow, Bidzster's all over the place here, so Bidzster's obviously still a bit rattled from that move earlier. And then down the Conrod straight now. Both the Subarus in tow here. Seat 1 back in 8th position, 2:14.7, his fastest lap of the race as well. Stacker's fallen a bit further back, but him and Rodders are still close together, having a good race of their own. Bidzster flashed his lights, saying I'm coming for you, as he looks to flash his lights again. We look on board from looking back from Callum, and then we'll go back to the outside. Callum defends, Bidzster no way through. Callum goes on the grass, Bidzster tries to go around the outside of him, but then gets on the grass himself, starts low mowing, and then comes back on. Callum's in a Mazda lawnmower, Bidzster's in a Scirocco Strimmer. As we go into the last corner, up on the grass again, Bidzster strimming the grass. As we've got Task 1 closes right up to the back of him, so we've lost touch with Callum a bit. Last lap of the race. So last lap of the race, TY's already almost a quarter of the way around already. And then these lot are only just coming to the first corner, so TY's really been on it in this race. But again, he did miss all the races last week because he unfortunately he's had a change of hours at work, so unfortunately not able to make all the races now. But when he does show up, he's still showing that he's dominant and he can still do it. As Callum and Bidzster now trying to lose each other's draft down the straight. Up and over the mountain section then, all three really close. Neil Farmack's not too far in front, but I don't think Neil will have a problem because these four will battle amongst themselves. As Bidzster almost pushes Callum into that corner, saying, come on, hurry up, I've got a couple of feisty Subarus behind me here, get a move on. As we go up and over the top. Firepower has a little look at his teammate now, so good. Firepower turning up the heat, literally. As we go up and over the mountain. There goes Bidzster, Task 1, Firepower right on the back end of his teammate. Technically it's two tasks if you think about it, because of the delivery that Firepower's on. Here's Callum, goes off onto the gravel there, really pushing hard, down the hill, dirt on the tyres and everything, down the dipper, and heading towards the forest elbow for the last time. Good run out of there from all. Task 1 goes through, so does Firepower, everyone with a really good run. As we look at Callum now, into the forest elbow for the last time, and then on to the Conrod straight. But just before we watch the rest of that battle, here is TY. He's about to take victory, drifting that BMW around the last corner. TY wins the race in the BMW. Well done to TY. Bit of redemption from missing last week. Nick Hash is definitely going to be in second place, even if he mucks up this last corner or not. So second place for Nick Hash. Neil Farmack should be third, and Bidzster's going for fourth as we go into this corner here. Up and over. Bidzster ahead of Callum now, so Bidzster's got him on the straight. Neil's definitely going to be third, but who's going to be fourth? It's going to be Bidzster or Callum. Bidzster defends the inside again. Can Callum repeat what he did earlier? Round the outside, is he going to do it? He's going to try. He's got the grip. He's going to do it. Callum's got alongside Neil's third, and Callum's just going to get fourth on the line. Brilliant stuff. What a pass, and he's done it for position as well. Bidzster gets past twice in one race by the same move. Brilliant. Task 1 6th, Firepower 7th, Seat 1 in 8th, and then we've got Stacker coming home in 9th, and Rodders will bring home the 10 in 10th position. What a finale to a fantastic race. Brilliant stuff. So what we'll do, guys, is while they're just crossing the line, we'll just get those final results in for you now. Okay guys, here's the results from that then. So TY takes victory in this one in the BMW. Well done to TY, back on form at the top. Nick Hash in second place then, well done to Nick. Then Neil Farmack in third position in the Audi. Callum gets fourth after a fantastic move around the outside of Bidzster on the last lap, brilliant there. And then Bidzster gets fifth place. Task 1 in sixth. Firepower finishes in 7th, then we've got Seek 1 in the other BMW in 8th place, Stacker finishes in 9th, Rodders in 10th, and unfortunately Liliam Jr. disconnected at the start of the race, so couldn't get off the line because of the glitch, either one, so unlucky there for Liliam Jr. Fastest lap of the race to TY with a 2:10.9. So as we come back from them results then, there is your winner, TY in the BMW. So we'll see you guys for race 2 with hopefully more of the same action again. So we'll see you then guys, take care.